So now we're back to our head cam. Cool, y'all. Let's go ahead and continue with our ZX ride. We now have our classic head microphone attached, our Edutige. I'll leave the link below. Our Edutige powered microphone here on the GoPro. Really nice low profile mic. So let's go ahead and take the ZX now out for a ride. And y'all let me know if you guys hear a difference in the sound here between the wireless microphone and the head mic. What's up, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of Rad City Berlin. Thank you for checking out today's episode. We're back out here at the Kraftwerk with the Super73 ZX, part 2 of our GRZLY install. Last week we were having some issues there with the whole chain, getting everything adjusted correctly, so it was just getting late on us. I had been at the Kraftwerk for many hours at that point already, so I went ahead and I ended the video last week. But today we're back out here at the Kraftwerk doing part 2 of the GRZLY install. So a lot to cover in today's video. We get the Super73 sorted 100% today. So cool video, a lot of stuff to cover. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe button. Without any further ado, let's go and get on today's show here in Rad City Berlin. Hey, awesome, y'all. GRZLY Tire Part 2, back out here at the Kraftwerk. We're going to go ahead and continue working on our GRZLY today, Part 2, here in Rad City, Berlin. So before we do any work, let's go ahead and change our work gloves. Cool, work gloves are now on. I'm going to double check the ZX today, make sure that the storm gray is 100%, the whole axle nuts and the gearing and the chain tension and everything. So we'll go and get that setup correctly done today. We'll use the Moonrock as a reference. Also, if you guys noticed in this video today, we're starting off with the Edutige head cam, but then we're going to switch over here now to the wireless microphone. I have it now all set up correctly here on my hoodie, okay? So hopefully the sound is coming through properly today. It should be. I've tested it now many times to make sure it is recording. I have the whole setup now done. You can see then the whole setup here. So I have now a whole new setup. If you guys notice, I just have my helmet on, but no head cam. We have now the camera running here in front of us, but then the whole Rode wireless setup. So kind of doing a kind of a mixture of audio today. I'm kind of testing out the audio to see what's better between the head cam, the wireless microphone, and just for like a baseline test, we'll kind of switch over to the GoPro microphone as well too. So we can kind of test all three today. So definitely, while we're working today, I'll make sure to write below which microphone we're using. So like right now, we're using the Rode wireless mic. But later on, we'll switch over to like the head cam mic, or we'll go over then to the GoPro microphone. So we'll have a little bit of fun today. You guys let me know in the comments below which microphone you guys prefer. All right, the wireless, the head mic, or the built-in GoPro. Just to kind of have like a baseline comparison. So the issue simply is that we can't turn the chain, right? So the issue, it looks like, is simply that the washers and the spacers and the dropout are stopping the chain from turning. So let's go over here and double check our Moonrock and see how the Moonrock looks. So we can kind of compare the two. All right, so let's go and double check here the Moonrock. Let's go and see. Okay, yeah. So the Moonrock, I can see you have then the spacer and the axle nut done incorrectly. Okay, yeah, so on the storm gray, I have then the fat washer on the outside, and then the thin washer and the axle nut. So we'll go ahead and change that out. We'll go ahead and take off the rear tire so that way we can change it and put it on exactly like it is here on the Moonrock. Okay, let's go ahead and put some paper on there to protect it. There you go. Okay. Same thing. This just needs to go on the outside, and this needs to go on the inside. So, take off this here. Make sure you take off that security screw. It goes underneath here. Boom. So now we'll be able to lift up the bike and reposition these on the inside. So I just gotta double check as if it goes on the, I believe it goes this way. Let's just double check with the moon rock if it goes with the lip on the inside or outside. Let's just double check here with our moon rock. Alright, let's see. So this is good here. Alright, so this, exactly. So this looks like the, exactly. So that lip is this anti-rotation lip here. So that basically for the spacer needs to go in between the dropout. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and put the bike back over here. It's okay, so super easy. Basically the fat side, the washer on the fat side goes on the outside. Okay, so super simple process. We'll go ahead and remove the titanium axle nuts and the spacers in the washer. Tight, awesome, beautiful, happy. So now we have the rear axle nut, but then the washer going then to the dropout, but then the fat spacer in between the dropout and the chain cog here. Okay, between the gearing cog here. So beautiful. Okay, so basically it goes from the wheel to then the fat nut, but then the lip going on the outside, and then the dropout placed on top of that, but then the fat lip in between of the whole dropout point there, and then you have the washer, and then you have the titanium axle nut, right? So or like the stock axle nut. So that's basically the stock OEM setup, right? That's how you want to get it done correctly, right? So basically make sure if you're installing your tires, any tire, GRZLY, LZRD, the Trooper tires, any sort of tire, just be mindful of that setup, but then the whole axles, nut, and the washers and spacers. Okay, so super crucial. I missed that in the last episode, but that's okay. I get to do it incorrectly so you guys can learn and do it then right the first time, right? So all good. So we all learned a little bit here in today's video, hopefully. So again, make sure that you guys have those axle nut and spacers and washers all set up correctly. And make sure that the other side is now done correctly as well too. Go ahead and switch over then to the GoPro mic. You guys can compare. So again, we have here the fat washer on the inside. You need to put on the security thread here on the underside here. Let's go ahead and tighten that down. Righty tighty. Good there. Okay, so that should be good. All right. So basically, to do the chain, in theory, we need to pull this back somehow. But already, it looks like it's already pulled back all the way. So let me think about that again for a minute. About how we're going to adjust the chain. So now let's go and double check our gearing here. That looks good. Beautiful. So now the bike turns. It should now pedal fine. Let's go ahead and take it outside real quick and test it, see how it feels, just to make sure that our gearing is working. All right, cool. We're back now from our ride. Looking good. The gearing and everything's working correctly. We've got the whole Shimano Z, the derailleur. Beautiful, shifting, good to go. So let's go ahead now and continue with our video and check out our chain. See how we can adjust our chain. See if we can get that thing tightened down a little bit, okay? So for the chain, essentially, here we have this slack here. That's kind of tricky. So what we can do first is we'll go ahead and try first. We'll go ahead and loosen up these two bolts here on the dropout. So then we can try to slide the bike forward, pull the rear tire backwards, so we can then try to expand the gap here. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, that looks better for sure. You can see now it's now higher. So that looks good now. So now we have the chain now tension. It's now looking much better now. I have a good gap where I can put a wrench here. It's not hitting the wrench. That looks good. So that looks good. So now we have that set up correctly. And before we take the bike out, let's go ahead and grease the chain. Make sure that the chain is nice and oiled, okay? Beautiful. So that should be good now. Chain adjusted a little bit. Definitely looks better than it did before. Before it was hanging really low, but now that looks 1,000 times better. Okay, so now I'm at a point where I can definitely say the bike is good to go. We can take this thing outside now, take it for a real test. See how it feels now with everything adjusted, tightened down, buttoned down, good to go. Let's see how it feels. So let's go and take the bike outside and see how this thing feels. I'm really excited. So let's go and take it outside and try this bike out. Oh, before we do that, we gotta, of course, change our gloves. Boom. So now we're ready to go take this thing out for a ride. Let's go and test it out, see how it feels. Let's go ahead and change out our microphone here. Where right now we're using the wireless microphone. We'll go ahead and change it out to our head cam, but then the head mic. So that way then y'all can compare the difference in sound between this wireless microphone and the head mic. And make sure to leave in the comments below which microphone you guys prefer. I want to make sure that I'm doing the best videos for y'all. So I need to know from y'all which microphone you guys can understand me better on, right? So super important. And we'll also then throw in here the GoPro mic occasionally just for like testing, right? So let's go ahead and change our camera and our microphone setup. We'll go and get outside and test out the ZX. Trying to figure out the sound, trying to work out the sound for y'all so to make you guys good sounding videos, obviously. I'm trying my best, so I would appreciate it if you guys rewarded me with a subscription for all my efforts trying to give you guys cool content here on Rad City Berlin. All right, mode 4, boom, head mic, head cam, head mic. Let's go and take this thing out to the road, see how it feels. How's the head cam? How's the head mic? Is it a big difference than the wireless mic? I don't know. Still trying to figure that out with y'all. So I really would appreciate it if you guys let me know in the comments which microphone you all prefer. the wireless mic or here the head mic. Oh, oh. Tricky. All right, so let's go ahead and try this out again. Yeah, pedaling so far feels good. Let's go ahead and try our different gears. 9th gear. Okay, 9th gear. 8th gear. 7th. Go back up to 10th. 9, 8, 7, 6. Can't pedal. Go back up to 9. Alright, feels good. Nice, y'all. Thanks again for checking out today's video. Here in Red City, Berlin, installing here the GRZLY tires. Part 2, continuing along from last week. So 100% done. Now you can see the difference between the Moon Rock with the Trooper tires or the Storm Gray with the GRZLY tires. Pretty rad selection. I really like the GRZLY tires. They're beautiful. Bike is now sort of 100%. We have now the chain adjusted correctly, so that's now going to not stop the frame. Have now also greased down the whole chain so it's quieter. Plus as well we have the whole derailleur set up correctly. So the back tire is working good. I can pedal now perfectly on the ZX. Feels good. The brakes are working. Everything's working correctly. So now in next week's video, I'll be able to have the bike looked over by my bike magician just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Because again, I'm not a bike expert, I'm just an enthusiast. I love Super73s. I love making content for y'all. So hit that subscribe button, help support Rad City. It really means a lot to me. And I'll see you guys again real soon in the next Rad City video. You guys stay safe, take care. This is Rad City, I'm out.